Hi, I recently became very interested in building my own trailer for the Bruiser. I'm getting the scale bug. I think it started with the garage and now the Bruiser and now this. So, as you can see, I'm using a box I found lying around just to try it for size. Throw it on top of a shaft with a couple of wheels just to see it behind the Bruiser, to see what it looks like. And I kept the wheels as much as possible the same axle width as the RC, to keep it as scale as possible. You can see the view from the top, from front top. You can see the wheels at the back. They don't exactly extend beyond the vehicle. You can see now from the side here, from the passenger side, front going back, and you have the same for the driver side. So before I started, I did some thinking, and I thought about a wooden flatbed and an aluminium frame of some sort. I did not want to use an angle, an L-shaped aluminium. It's too common. Everybody's done it. I wanted something a bit fancier and functional. So I found this trimming. Actually, this aluminium trimming is what they use to finish off tiled bathrooms, corners, edges, and I like that zigzag flat part of it for design. It's a bit fancier than the plain angle aluminium. And the groove, it has a groove which will be good to hook on the bungee cords over the side, from side to side. So what I first did was I decided on a size after doing some experiments. I'm planning to have the canoe on top of it as well at some point. So I went for 12 inches front to back and 7 inches side to side width. So I got some wood, I cut it up, and the wood I chose, when you put 6 near each other, they give you 7 inches, give or take. So I cut them up, glued them together, and put them in some G-clamps, and let them dry. After they dried, I needed to cut the edges off, because as you saw, the edges weren't exactly straight. I cut them on a machine, 90 degree, to make sure it's perfectly cut, and planed it down to get a smooth finish on both sides. So after this, I am going to start showing you how I assembled the frame on the edge of the base. Until then. Okay, so now I planed this. I got it cut 90 degrees to the right length and width that I wanted, and it looks smooth. I'll stain it with something. In fact, I already tried the other side, the dirty rag with oil, and to be honest with you, I like it like this. So as you can see, I've already drilled holes. These are going to be for the frame around it, and I'm planning to put it around like this on the top side, so it will give the things I put on the trailer, it will give them something to hold on to onto the side. Because you might ask, what about the sides? Well, I'm planning to put like gates up all around, but they are removable. So if I want to use it as a flatbed, I can use it without the sides. If I want to put one side up, I want to tie up something to it so it doesn't fall on one side only, I can put one side up. Or I can put them all up and nothing falls out. It's just a matter of trying to make it flexible and utilize it to any way I wish to use it. So, off camera, I'm going to put these in place and I'll get back to you. As you can see, I put the frame on, quite simple, evenly spaced screws, and I'm going to try to come into the camera here. And the groove here, I put the nut from this side. And with the long nose and a bit of play, and you'll get it in there. But I mean, it looks quite neat. I like this rail because of this zigzag here, like a feature, you know. It's not just plain wood on the side. And I didn't want a box trailer. I had a one-to-one like that, and it didn't look pretty from the side. So I put this on for design, and as I said before, I will have the sides removable. Most probably I'll drill holes here and here, and I will slide down the rails into the wood here and lock them in with screws from the side, and remove them as need be. Next I will try to see what it will look like on the wheels. I still haven't sorted out the axle shaft or whatever issue here. As you can see, I'm just using a bit of aluminium rod just to try it out, and it's going to be something like this. The idea is to use a 5mm rod. These are bearings from an axial transmission. This is from the transmission on the main input shaft, and this is at the end of each axle. And I'm looking for some tubing with the inside diameter either 10 or 12mm, and I will slide this on it, grease up inside, and the tape here is just so the bearings don't fall off when I go shopping. Then thread this for a 4mm nut, like you would have on your car normally, and it will be under here, and well, you know, with the wheel screwing on normally. I'm still not sure if I will have it with or without suspension. Suspension, I'm thinking leaf springs, but it's gonna come up here somewhere, and I'm sure this guy is gonna complain about the height. Oops. There you go. Let me get him on this side, safer for him. Stand. I think up here will be a bit too high for him, so either that, or if I use leaf springs, I have no idea what the height increase is going to be from the shaft, how high the bed's gonna come, but with leaf springs it will be somewhere up here. I don't know, still to think about this. So next thing is the front part here, the hook, to where it connects, where it hooks onto the back of the RC. So I'm going to figure that one out, and when I have an idea and all the material, I will get back to you. Until then. So I received some parts today, namely some aluminium tubing, which will be used for the axle housing, in which at each end I will fit bearings here and there. They fit in very tightly. And also I received my leaf springs, Now, before I started this video, I already tried all this out and fitted it. I don't like doing things on camera, so I'll show you what the result is. This is the leaf spring. I had to use tie wraps here because I tried screws, but as small as the bolt and nut are to go through this hole to hold onto the leaf spring, when I put the shaft in there, it was catching onto the bolt head, and I decided better not. So I went with tie wraps. In reality, there's no stress on this. It's just going to be towed along. I mean, worst case scenario, if the trailer wheels get stuck under a rock and I keep on pulling, that's where the damage will be done. But it's not like I'm going rock rolling with this, right? Anyway, so this is the idea how it's going to work. The bearing fits in here, one at each end, and I'm going to fabricate a custom shaft for this, solid shaft. Yes, it will be locked, but hey, no loss there. So, how to tie this underneath? There are some holes here already and some markings. I have these, which will fit. This is number 2 here and here, onto which I will tie my leaf springs, complete with axle housing, and eventually a shaft and a set of wheels. So I'm going to put all this together along with all the screws and other parts at the end, the shackle at the end, and I'll show you the finished product. So this is it assembled. The suspension here is pretty much I think it's enough for what we want. I did remove all the leaves except for one, the main one, and this will give me an option to, if I find this too soft, I can always make it stiffer. But until then, that's another story. We'll first have to take it for a run and see what it's like with some load on it. But for now, this should be okay. I set these up temporarily. No rocket science here. Just put these in here for now. Hang on. So this is what it will look like. Move the camera a bit. This is what it will look like. I think it's looking pretty snazzy. And I will figure out what I'm going to do up front to connect it to the rear bumper of the bruiser, and when the shaft is done I can try that out, and then I will start working on the fence, call it what you want, around it to hold the cargo inside anyway, and eventually, finally, some lights at the rear, maybe some lights here, and we'll see how we'll connect that to the front, onto the rear of the bruiser. Oh, also I will have, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, like a roll bar over and above here. Hang on, let me move the camera a bit up. There we are. Up, over and down, same here. So I will be able to put, in a minute, this on top without occupying the whole space of the of the trailer. This is intended as a camping trailer originally, and it will carry all the camping stuff for when we go out on some nice trail, and we set up camp there, and we do some scale video and pictures, you know. I'm sure you've all done it at one point in time. Anyway, this is where this is going. So for now, I'm going to stop here. Today I went to visit my friend Kyle, and he surprised me with the shaft that I had asked him to do for me. Thank you, Kyle. Couldn't have done it without you. So I'm going to slide this into the housing, put the pins on, the hub spacers, and the wheels, and I'll show it to you ready. I've assembled the shaft and the axle is ready. The wheels are pretty much very loose and smooth. The bearings, no resistance at all. Yes, it's a locked axle, you know. I mean, there'll be some friction going around corners, but it's a trail. It's for scale, not meant for performance. I hooked it up to the back of the Land Cruiser, and just to show it to you for scale. For now, I'm going to stop this project here. I will eventually do the fence around the perimeter, the rope bars for carrying the canoes, and the lights, but those will be future projects. So I hope you enjoy this. If you have any comments, please write them below, like and subscribe. Thank you.